it's 8:30 and we're not all here, but those of you who are here, we're going to do some extra things that we weren't planning to do. So come into a circle. We'll just get you guys all nice and warmed up because it's like 8:30. You had a long day yesterday. Okay, so we'll do our formal introduction in just a few minutes when everybody gets here. But for right now, we're just going to do an action and a sound together. I'm going to do an action. Come right close. We're going to be in an actual circle. And I'm going to do an action and a sound, and you will do the same thing I do. And then I'll point to one of you, and then you will do a different action and a sound, and then you'll point to somebody else. And this is just a good warm-up. Ha! Ha! Ha, 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 ha. Make a sound?
Does that make a sound with it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And point to somebody else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the person. Yeah. 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 Shoo. Shoo. Come join our group. Hey. 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 Whoop. 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 Come into the circle. Whoop. Make room. Whoop. Whoop. Whoa. 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 Ga. 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 Whoosh. Whoosh, 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 shoop, 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 shoop. Okay, great. Okay, we're going to go around the room, and I'd like you to say your first and last name in the manner of how you're feeling today. Like this moment. Like I'm going to go, well, let's just do first names. Karla! And you repeat. Karla!
Amy.
Amy.
Monica.
Monica.
Tara.
Tara.
Emma.
Emily.
Maggie.
Maggie.
Hez.
Hess.
Cindy.
Cindy, join the circle.
Jeanette.
Jeanette. Come on in. Say your first name in the way that you're feeling right at this moment. Melissa! Woohoo! Casey.
Christina.
Christina.
Marina.
Arena. Elisa! Okay, we're just doing a little pre-stuff while everybody's getting here. I know you do. Okay, where are we?
Allison. Lauren.
Laura.
Cassie.
Cassie. Hollis. Elise.
Karen.
Karen.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Lisa.
Lisa. All right, let's do another pre-warm-up before everybody gets here. Oh, you can't escape. Dion. And it was just, okay. So this is kind of weird. Okay, so this session is being filmed forever. And so we have to talk, we really have to make our voices fill the room so that we can project. Now we do have, for individual things later on, we have this microphone which does not amplify into the room. It only amplifies on the recording. Same thing with mine. It doesn't amplify in the room. But we'll play around with this and we'll make this work. Okay, so another pre-activity before we get into our activity. I'm going to start a story. You're going to give me the name of an animal. I'm just going to start a story, and then I'm going to point to one of you. It's just like the action and the sound. You'll continue on with the story. So give us an animal.
Otter.
Otter. Once upon a time, and you try to say this at the same time I do. Once upon a time, there was an otter, and he loved the water in one way. But in another way, he didn't, because he was terrified of the water. He had had a bad experience when he was just a little pup. Continue. And he was out in pub with his associate. And then you'll point to somebody.
And he found a great big diving spot on a rock. And he could arch his
Mix.
as he's ready to
Jump.
an alligator
Alligator.
from below opened his
Mouth
mouth wide and said,
Dead. And end the story.
Just kidding.
Fantastic. Okay, if you teach preschool, step forward. Okay, kindergarten, step forward. First grade, and then step back. Second grade,
I teach all the way up to 8. Do I just keep
good,
going?
you just keep there. Okay, let's see, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, whoa, sixth grade. Ooh, let's see if we have any of the others. Seventh grade, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're a music specialist, step forward. Okay, if you're a theater specialist, if you're an visual arts specialist, if you're a media specialist, and if you're a dance specialist. Okay, fantastic. And awesome. And did I miss anybody else? Special ed? Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to do a values continuum. That means you put yourself on the line from 1 to 10 on your comfort level doing theater activities. 1, I don't know why I'm in this room at all. 10, I'm good. I'm going for it. Okay, let's start here.
I'm probably an 8.
Uh-huh.
6.
Probably 6. 8, 5, 8, 6, 9. 9.5.
And zooming up.
Now 10, whatever.
Okay.
6, 9.
probably a 1.
Okay. So glad you're here.
It was full.
So glad you're here. Okay.
9.
9.
7.
Uh-huh.
9.5. 10. 5. With my own class, a 10. The rest of my peers, a 1.
Okay. Love it. Love it.
8.
Uh-huh.
8.5.
4. 10. 10.
Okay, and I'm 10, of course. So my goal always when I'm with a group is to create safety in the group so that we're not going to ask you to do, well, we may ask you to do some things that are weird for you. But you will always feel safe. We're going to start with a challenge this morning. I'm going to divide you into a group, and we've got what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 maybe? Let's count off into groups into 5. And then I'm going to give each group a science fact. And your challenge is to illustrate this science fact in any way that you want to. You can sing it, you can do something with theater with it, you can dance it, you can do a poem with it, whatever. And I put just a few little props. There's some puppets, there's some musical instruments, there's some scarves, and some other various things over there. Okay, so number off. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1,
5. Okay. On your paper, well, let's get you in your groups first. Group 1, gather right over there. Everybody who was a 1, right over there in that corner there. Number 2, right over in this corner here, this area. Number 2. Number 3 in this corner right over there. 3. And 4 in that corner right there. And 5 in the center. And if you just came in, just choose a group. Any group that you want to. Okay, and I'm going to come around and tell you what your science fact is. Okay. The Eiffel Tower in Paris can grow up to 6 inches in summer due to the heat. You know, this is on your paper, and if you're a person that's visual and you want to look on your paper, that's perfectly fine. So the Eiffel Tower in Paris can grow up to 6 inches in summer due to the heat. Okay, solve that task. How are you going to illustrate this? Okay. A cloud can weigh around 1 million pounds. A cloud can weigh around 1 million pounds. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Venus is the only planet that rotates in a clockwise direction. Venus is the only planet that rotates in a clockwise direction. Okay.
All right. I passed myself.
Okay. Rats laugh when they are tickled. So anyway you want to solve this problem, you have to illustrate this in some way so that we'll get it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Okay, who wants to be the Eiffel Tower? Okay, Eiffel Tower.
We can have more than one of us. We can have one of us on a chair and others going.
Oh!
It's very tall.
I'm sorry. Okay. Grasshoppers hear through their stomachs.
Grasshoppers here through their stomach.
Grasshoppers hear
There we
through their
go.
stomachs.
I like it.
I'll play it.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Like, that was not it.
Okay, I'll be part of the Eiffel Tower.
If you came in, just come. That's okay. Just go to any group, and they'll tell you what we're doing.
I can do that.
And then you can be walking by.
But good luck with
gotta
that
show the
because I don't know how they're going to get all that's going on. You're good. Whatever's good for you. You're good.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
On either way? This way? Going this way?
Yeah.
Okay. So in front, this side to front?
Or like to the sides like this.
Is that where it's got?
Yeah, like this.
Do you really expand? Use your yoga
I think you were
I mean, if I'm over the legs, that can be And then we grow taller as the heat, right? Oh, yeah. So we gotta start lower.
Well, 6 inches. 6 inches.
Oh, it was just 6
And remember to rehearse it once you know what you're doing. Remember to rehearse once you know.
literally 6 inches would be about that much.
Okay. So
A what?
I would just like to see the point. How can you get higher?
Oh my goodness. I don't have one, but you never know what might be in here. Okay, I'm only going to give you one more minute. One more minute.
there we go.
You're going to be like the Eiffel Tower.
Well, I almost want to on your head.
They're like, there is a disaster happening right now.
Or you can just put it over their shoulders.
So we're gonna
So
start.
are you the sun? Are you a tourist who's hot? I wasn't quite sure.
I was wondering if you stood up in the middle. Like if you stood up and grew up here. Yeah, be the sun. Do beautiful things with your scarves.
Because doesn't the tower come
Yeah, so it goes up like this and it comes down, but it does have tiers of planks.
And then she'll show it growing.
Okay, then I'm going to interact with you, Cindy. And everything I say, all you need to do is to be really French instead of saying
All right.
say me.
You're not ready? Almost?
Or you can say me.
Okay. Yes, you were.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, you guys about ready? Okay.
So look, what district you're all from. I'm from Vivo. So yours is Davis. My secretary. Now you're her, but you're not. Okay, so you know Dave. David Jeffrey.
I was thinking he was my special ed director.
No, he's an arts coach.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I honestly have not been very involved in arts. I was like during high school. Yeah. What?
Cassidy, what district are you from? I'm from Jordan.
All right. Come find your chairs.
I pull it from over here.
Okay, who is group 4? Come on up. This is your acting area right here, group 4. Now, what we're going to do is you'll watch, and when they're done, you'll look down on your list and see if you can determine what it was that they were illustrating. Okay. So we're all going to say, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and we'll all call out action, and then you'll begin. Okay, so neutral position before you start. 3, 2, 1, action! Oh my gosh. Okay, look down on your list. What were they illustrating? Yes, rats laugh when they are tickled. Awesome. Okay, group number 3. Group number 3.
You just need the center of the universe. Just kind of do. Okay. Welcome to the solar system. I am the sun. And I'm Mercury. I'm Venus. I am Earth. I am Mars. And we like to rotate. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. She's your Venus. She's your fire. She goes clockwise.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, this is why this just confirms what I've always believed, that teachers are the most creative people on the planet. So look down on your sheet. What were they illustrating? Yeah, Venus is the only planet that rotates clockwise. Okay, so group number 5. Here you go.
Granny, guess what I learned at Grasshopper School today?
What? I can't hear you.
Grandma Hopper's old. You have to speak slowly. Granny, guess what I learned at Grasshopper School today?
What?
I learned that. Excuse me. Can I borrow a couple of leaves from you? Oh my gosh, you're never gonna believe what happened to me.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, fantastic. What were they illustrating? Is that fascinating? I never knew that. Okay, number 2. And I haven't been doing the 3, 2, 1 action. Oh, I'm negligent. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, action. Okay. Look down on your list. What were they illustrating? £1 million. Is that an amazing fact? Okay, number 1.
Oh la la, ça me semble que c'est tout grand.
Ah oui? C'est combien? 6?
C'est incroyable. Qu'est-ce que c'est différent? C'est toujours la France.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what was their fact? Awesome. Okay, let's have a test. Grasshoppers here from there? How many inches can the Eiffel Tower grow?
6.
Okay. How many pounds can a cloud weigh? 1 million. And rats do what? You probably will remember these facts for the rest of your lives. Why? Because it's fun. Because what else?
It was visual.
What was that?
It was visual.
It's visual. What else?
You're actually doing something.
You're actually doing something. Lisa?
We had an emotional experience with it.
Yes. And so did we watching it. It was absolutely, yes.
We had to elaborate.
Yes, you did. And this is why kids need theater, art, music, dance, the whole thing, because they're involved, they're engaged, they're doing something. Of course, we can't do this every second of the day. We understand that as teachers. But if we can spice things up, the retention level will be so much greater, won't it? Okay, now, in order to solve this problem that I gave you, what were the steps in solving this problem? First of all, what did you have to do?
Figure out who's going to play which role.
Figure out who's going to play each role. You know what? That's actually about number 4. Number 1.
Like, I one of the first things we did was decide what kind of medium we're going to do. Drama, were we going to do dance, use music?
Okay, what did you have to know first of all?
I had to read what it was that we needed to perform. Like, we needed the content.
Yeah, you had to define the task or the challenge. And then, even before how, I would say that's 3, which is a plan. What did you have to do? The second thing, you got together, you said, this is our problem.
Brainstorm ideas.
Brainstorm ideas, right. And you could have researched if it was that kind of a task. Then you made a plan. Then you figured out how you're going to do it. You created it. Then you did what? You had to practice. You had to rehearse. And did you settle on the very first thing that you thought of? No. Okay, so you refined what you were doing. And then, what did you do?
I think before 5, we gathered materials.
You gathered materials. And we're
Before
going
we
to
practiced. So we figured out what we were going to do, and then we gathered our materials that we were going to need.
You did, because you were in the creation process. You figured it out, you gathered your materials, then you could practice, then you refine it, and then somebody said, performed it, or you communicated it. So this is the typical way that we create a symphony, we create a play, we do visual art, and we also do what that relates to seed strategies. Is this familiar with scientific methods?
Engineering design process.
This is the engineering design process. This is the engineering design process. So when I started studying about, science and engineering and math, subjects which I neglected when I was growing up. In high school, junior and senior year, we could take languages instead of math. Do you think I took math? No. I took languages. So when I did my master's degree and had to take statistics, I was going, oh, what is this? But through the years, I found that everything connects. And the seed strategies absolutely do connect to all of the arts. And it's fascinating in how they connect. And that's what we're going to work with today. So we just did one little illustration. And by the way, you as an audience, did any one of the performers illustrating this fact seem uncomfortable on stage? No. Why?
Each had something to do.
Yes, because each had something to do. Each person had a task. So they weren't focused on what they were doing. They were focused on being part of that task. And that's a very, very important principle in teaching our kids in our classrooms. Some teachers say, well, my kids won't do drama. Yeah, they really will if you give them a specific task that they're focused on. Yeah?
I think it's also important that they're part of a group. You don't start with giving them monologues.
Oh, no. No, you don't start giving them monologues. It's like if I said, okay, all of you 7, stand in front of this group and we're going to stare at you. Pretty soon, people would probably be going, ugh. But if I said, okay, you 7 are going to stand up and you're going to count the bricks on this back wall. So if we give our students something to do, we will be surprised and delighted, just like all of us were seeing your illustrations this morning. They were utterly, utterly delightful, just delightful. Okay, so now we're going to stand in this area in...
Karla, there's no question.
Yes.
Sorry, just before we move on from that, say, you've got a group of reluctant kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're giving them a task as a whole. Is it appropriate to say, like, one person's kind of leading too much, one person's not really doing anything? Is it appropriate to kind of go within there and say, like, hey, here's what you're going to be doing, like give them tasks within that task, like, I don't know, like to help them kind of work together a little bit better, or is that maybe not conducive to the creativity part of?
Maybe further on. Initially, I would let it evolve, because some students are going to be the leaders. They just plain are. And some are actually going to be the followers, and they're going to be really comfortable being the followers too. And so if they're pushed too much initially, they might just say, well, I'm not doing that. I'm just plain not doing that. Okay, so in your groups, we're going to have a row of the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, facing me. So just stand up. You don't need your papers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, facing me. And actually, group 5, each one of you go onto another row, so that we just have 4 rows. Oh, okay. Just come stand here. Yeah. Okay, so let's go and push back as far as you can towards the chairs so that you have a little bit of space. And let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just be in one row. 4. Let's just have 4 rows. Okay. So years ago I did this thing because I love choral reading, and I thought, ooh, what would choral action reading be if we learned a poem like in 10 minutes? How would that be? And so years ago I did something called Dancing Pants. And I still have people coming to me saying, I use that in my classroom. Because the concept is, again, a concept which helps us learn better. So we're going to learn the design process through doing Dancing Pants. And I just wrote this. I did not memorize this, so I'm in the same place as you are. But what we're going to do is start with a line of this somewhat poem. It's a little ditty. And in certain parts, I'm going to say, okay, what action can we do? And you'll give me an action, and then I'll say, okay, let's do that one. Okay, let's do that one. Let's do that one. So I'll get us started, and we're just going to do something simple like, so what is the problem? What is the task? Everybody do that together. So what is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to, and what can we do? An action for ask. Everybody do an action. Let me look at it. Ask. Just to ask. Okay, let's take that one. Okay, so what is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. Let's do that one again, once again, till we get the idea. So what is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Let's do the second step. Do you want to just do that? Yeah. The second step is to show me, think, think, think. Oh my gosh, everybody is in sync. The second step is to think, think, think. Okay, go back to the beginning. This is what's really important. Because by going back to the first, we cement the first, we add on, and it's easier for our brains to take it in. If you just say, okay, that's line, that's that line, that's that, we won't learn it. We just can't learn it. Okay, so here we go. So what is the problem? What is this task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. Research. Do your research. What's the missing link? Like it. Okay. So here we go. So what is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. What's the missing link? Okay, and we kind of did 2 at once, and you saw that it was a little bit harder for you. Let's start again, though. What is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. What's the missing link? All right. The third step, of course, is to make a plan. So the third step, of course, is to make a plan. Let's see what you've got for plan. Oh, I like that. Is to make a plan. Okay, here we go. What is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. What's the missing link? The third step, of course, is to make a plan. Awesome. And how will you design it? How will you design it? Okay, I like that. How will you, so we go from what's the plan, then we go, how will you design it? So we go from plan, how will you design it? Let's just do that much. What is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. What's the missing link? The third step, of course, is to make a plan. Do your research. Oh, do your design. Sorry. Do your design. And then, no, how will you design it? How will you design it? Let's say that together. How will you design it? How will you design it? How will you design it? What's your plan, man?
What's your plan, man?
What's your plan, man? I saw a lot of body motions going. What's your plan, man? Okay, here we go. So what is the problem? What is the task? The first design step is just to ask. The second step is to think, think, think. Do your research. What's the missing link? The third step, of course, is to make a plan. How will you design it? What's your plan, man? Okay. I don't think we have time to go through the whole thing, but you have the idea. And at the very end, let's just do the very end part. The very end one, engineering design helps to solve any task. Let's do that. Engineering design helps to solve any task. I like that. Engineering design helps to solve any task. Then go and follow the steps. You're going to do a scramble. You're going to just scramble, go to different places, so that you're going to end up, one person's going to be down here going like this, and people are going to be out, you're like in one of those curtain things. So let's choose. Let's have you be the front person. Okay, and everybody, if you're scrambling, well, let's just see how this is going to work. So it's going to be fun. Okay, so engineering design helps to solve any task. Scramble all around the room. Scramble, 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 scramble. And you're saying, follow the steps. What more can you? And then go down. Ask. And curve into each other. Notice where everybody is. What more can you ask? Okay, let's do that again. That's awesome. All right. From engineering design helps to solve any task. Engineering design helps to solve any task. Follow the steps. What more can you ask? Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, go ahead and take your seats. So honestly, movement choral reading is one of the easiest ways for kids to learn a song, a poem, a bit of science narrative that you want them to learn. Can you imagine learning science vocabulary in this way? And it's so fun, so easy. And the other thing is that kids who are reluctant to get involved will be involved because they're not standing out. They're just part of the group. Okay, take a look on every second or third seat. There's a picture. And I want you to group into 2s or 3s. And if there's an extra picture, go ahead and use it. But I want you to talk together in 2s or 3s. And I want you to look at this picture and try to determine, well, just first of all, tell each other what you see. So group together and talk about what you see. And then when you think this person lived, and when you turn over the opposite picture, see if there are any clues as to where she lived. So go ahead and talk for a minute. Okay, what do you see in this picture? Raise your hand. What do you see? What do you see?
I see a woman who looks like she's pretty frazzled and has a scalpel in her hand.
Uh-huh. Okay. What else? Did somebody see that? Did you see something different at all?
It looked like she solved the problem. She was excited that she solved the problem.
It looks like, and what makes you think that she solved the problem? What indicates that in the picture?
To me, it's her body movement and the big smile that she has. And then her hair's all frazzled, so she's been working hard, and it's like, I did it.
Okay, good. What else do you see?
Her clothes are Edwardian, which is early 1900s.
Okay, clothes early. That's pretty impressive that you knew that. Okay. Okay, anybody see anything? Yes.
Wearing like a bow tie.
Yeah.
Makes me think, we did look at the back, but like maybe she's in a male-dominated, I mean, seems like she's in a male-dominated society, but perhaps career or education-wise, it's also, again, male-dominated, excluding you.
Lovely. Now, where do you think she lived? What indications give you, like from the other side? Germany. And you got that because? 9. Okay, so this is Emmy, they called her Emmy, but Emily Noether, who was born in 1882 in Germany. In 1882, let's have everybody just put your papers down, find your own space in the room. I'm going to read some statements about what life was like for women at that time in Germany. And I'm going to have you just pantomime. Turn your backs to me, facing outwards, so that you have private space. Nobody's looking at what you're doing, how you're doing it. And I want you to illustrate these statements with a pantomime. Girls were expected to be pretty and quiet. Emily was considered to be plain and had a booming voice. Girls were expected to cook and sew. Emmy was not interested in cooking and sewing. Girls were expected to play the piano well. Emmy was a lousy piano player. Girls were not expected to be geniuses. Emmy could solve any puzzle placed in front of her. Girls were expected to have perfect, in-place hair. Emmy's hair was messy. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and take your seats. So, by pantomiming, you know what about Emmy? She was what? Atypical. Messy. Right. She had a booming voice. She wasn't what the typical early 1900s woman in Germany was expected to be. So what they were expected to be was they could teach girls or young women, like they could teach French or Spanish or whatever, because that was an acceptable thing for them to do. But they could not go to higher level learning. There were no women in universities in Germany, none at this time. So when I hold this, I don't know where my other, when I hold this folder, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to be a university professor, and you can ask me questions about why women were not allowed in the university. So I'm ready for your questions.
Were men threatened by women at the time?
What was your question?
Were men threatened by women at the time?
Men are not threatened by women at this time. It's just that women have a certain place. Their place is not in the university. Other questions? Yeah.
Why?
Why? That's even an absurd question to ask. It's very apparent. Women are not suited for university level. They can't think as well as men.
What about the rare case where a woman tends to go above her station and have more knowledge than is expected of her?
That can't happen. That doesn't happen. Yeah.
What if it seems like a woman is smarter than she should be?
What if it seems like a woman? Well, she should just devote more time to her children and her family then. You know, she cannot be in the universities. It would be so uncomfortable. What else? Yep.
Is there any situation where you think a woman could be in the university?
Oh, no. Oh, no. That would upset the balance. That cannot happen in Germany. Yes.
Can you tell me what you believe is the highest level of any education that a woman could ever aspire to attain?
Pretty much 16 years old. And then she can teach a language to a girls' school. Pretty much, yeah.
What about other countries that have allowed women to pursue higher education?
Honestly, I can't imagine the reasoning and the thinking that would allow them to do this. I cannot imagine it. So this is what the thinking was at that time. There were no women at the university level. And this, with all of her heart, is what Emmy wanted to do. She loved science and math, and she was obviously brilliant. Her father was a mathematics professor, and somehow he set up a special approval for her to attend classes at the university that he was teaching at. He taught math at the university. So he got special permission, and she could sit in the classes, but she couldn't take the test or get the degree. But she could sit in. So the other students, who were all men, were really, really upset with this, that a woman should be there in the first place, and they were especially upset because she was smarter than they were. But she helped them with their math problems, and they were excited about that, and they were also excited about the fact that they took credit for her work. So we're going to divide in two groups, and we're going to do some tableaus. And how many of you have done tableaus before? Okay. Probably half. Okay, so a tableau is a still picture. Let's have you guys just come up, stand up. It's a still picture where you show by your face and your body position what you're thinking. So you're going to be Emmy, and you are male students, and what might you show in your body? How might you be thinking about Emmy? Yeah. Okay. And in a still picture, you might want to use different levels. You know, you might want to go high, medium, low, and you might want to just think about: do I want to be on the other side of her? What do I want to do? Yeah. Okay, so, and then when we call 3, 2, 1, action, or let's do 3, 2, 1, freeze. 3, 2, 1, freeze. Right. And I may ask some questions. I may say, what do you think about Emmy? Her name is pronounced so many ways. Nerder, Noeder. I'm going to call her Nerder. But if you look on Google, so many ways to pronounce her name. Okay, so what do you think about Emmy?
I can't believe they allowed her into this class
Yeah, because why?
because she's a girl.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're going to divide into groups of, let's do groups of 6, so you'll have about 5 people. And then I want you to create an image, a still image, of what your character might think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1's in this corner. 2's over here. 3's over here. 4's over here. 5's on this side. 6 is on this side. And go quick. Decide how you're going to do it. Try to use levels. Try to make your bodies express what you're thinking.
So we're doing the same thing.
I'll just come join you.
Okay, you know what? Just kind of group into groups of 5. And if you see you got 6 and another group has 4, it looks like you guys are okay. You guys are okay. You're okay. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, and this is a still picture, like a photograph.
Are we doing the same story, or are you getting us certain things, or are we doing the same story?
Same story.
Okay.
Same story. There could be a lot of different opinions about Emmy there. So illustrate those opinions.
Do we need an Emmy or just what if you do one where she's helping them with
Oh, you can use chairs. You can use chairs if you want to.
We might have to perform in the middle.
So we might have to So what if, because we're a still photo, so what if I'm like pointing at the board, like, and then you guys could be, one of you could be thinking about and what if you like are getting it and you're writing
Where's
it
our
down?
audience? Because we're all like in a circle. Yeah, we have to be facing the audience. And we have to be able to tell. Do you think all the guys were all of them?
1 minute. 1 minute.
One of us should be like, she thinks she's smart, or she's smarter than all of us, kind of thing. And the other two could be like,
Okay, so what if you're happy about it and you're reading it and you're putting it in your paper?
yeah,
And then you guys are looking in the background skeptically. Does that work? Yeah, that's good. Because that way they'll all be able to see.
I'll be like, I'll smile.
I think you would be happy because she was saying like they were.
Okay, let's come to our chairs.
You could be upset and you could be like, ooh, I'm going to use it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Come to your chairs. This is going to be our staging area here. And this is the order that you'll show. 4, 6, 1, 3, 2, 5. So group number 4. And we'll call out 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, what's going on in your head?
What is that thing doing here?
What's going on in your head?
How dare they let a girl in here?
What's going on in your head?
Can you believe this?
What's going on in your head?
I just love that I'm in this class.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, group number 6. Okay, let's give them a 3, 2, 1, action. What are you thinking right now?
I'm going to take credit for what she did.
Oh, beastly. What are you thinking?
I hope she has the right answers because I'm definitely copied.
What's going on in your head?
I saw what she did, but I don't know how she got there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Really, really great. Okay, group number 1. And 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, what is going on in your head?
I'm mad that that person is listening.
Whoa. And what's going on in your head?
That's the way you do it. Do you see now?
Okay, and what's going on in your head?
I'm happy but skeptical that she is a woman's helping me.
Okay, nice. Good job. And number 3. And 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, what's going on in your head?
Just pretend like she's not in here, but she has long hair.
Oh, ignoring. What are you thinking?
I don't quite believe that this woman needs to be in this place.
Oh, you seem so happy. What's going on?
I'm the best in this class.
Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, and group 3. 2. And 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, what is going on here? What are you thinking?
I know the answer.
And what's going on with you two?
We're talking about her, like,
Share your voice.
we're talking about we cannot believe a woman is in this class, let alone she thinks she knows the answer.
Oh.
And she has messy hair.
Oh, yeah. And what's going on with you?
How could she know the answer when I
Okay, and what's going on with you?
Just ignoring her and my stupid men over here.
Okay, that's great. Okay, 5. Three, 2, 1, action. Oh. What are you thinking here?
My dad is smarter than anybody here.
Oh, recognition there. All right. Oh, what is going on with you?
There is no way a girl could be better at this than me.
Oh, and what are you doing?
So nailing this.
What's going on in your head?
It's not cheating, she's just a woman.
And on that note, okay, thank you. Go to your chairs. Okay. So that, of course, is tableau and thought tracking. What we're going to do now is something called thought walking. And that is you'll put your papers down and you'll just walk around the room taking your own space and you're going to talk out loud as if you were Emmy at this time. And you're trying to solve this problem, just really explore, enroll, as if you were Emmy. What are you thinking about this situation, about being in school? What are you thinking about these guys? What are you thinking? So everybody just stand up and just start talking out loud. Go to your own space, walk around the room, talk as if you were Emmy. What is she saying to herself at this time in her life? Okay, very quickly, go back to your seats, and on the back of one of your papers, I want you to write down now what you were saying as you were talking and walking. Just write down, as if you were Emmy, what she was thinking at this time. But use what you talked about. Okay, you could, if you were doing in the classroom, you would give your kids a lot more time. And you'll find that they'll write more after they have talked it out first. And this is really one of the best writing prompts I've ever found. And you can do this with a scientific fact, you can do it with anything, because once they've expressed it to themselves, they will write. So let's have just one person write just the beginning. She probably have a sentence or two. Who will volunteer to just read? Yes, go ahead.
Dad's the best.
And share your voice. Remember, we're being recorded.
My dad's the best. He likes me to get in. He helped me get into this at university, and he knows that the value of learning.
Awesome, awesome, fantastic. Yes.
I'm brilliant. I got this. And these men, ugh, I never court a single one of them.
Good.
Churchy and not at all like
Good job, good job. Okay, so everybody from here to here form a row facing the audience, and everybody else form a row facing that row. So just across, 2 rows facing each other. And I'm going to walk down these 2 rows. This side, you're gonna tell me why Emmy should quit, why she should stop pushing this. This is never going to change. Women are never going to have a place in German society as university graduates or people. Tell me why you think she should quit. You guys tell me why she should persist. So go ahead and just talk to me.
You should be a mother. What are you doing with your life? You're wasting your family life. You're
Women
wasting
belong everywhere that men are.
No, you need to continue. The smarter the woman, the better educated their children will be.
Your classes aren't counting anyway, so I'm not sure why you bother.
We hold the future, and the future is who we are around.
Women have more important thing than study.
Nothing's more important than education.
This is way more trouble than it's worth. It's not that great.
Are there other girls as smart as Emily out there?
Oh.
They're just stealing your work. They want to take all your credit. Go home.
I have skills that we both have skills that we can contribute here.
You've already proven you can do this. Now you need to prove that you can do the other womanly things like you're supposed to be.
I'm smart enough to make a change, so I'm going to do what I can to get myself in there.
You could be using your feminine traits. You're a woman. You can be a mother. You can be a wife. Those are your feminine traits. Don't try to be a man.
And you could use the same traits to make a movement on behalf of women.
You have an obligation to yourself to be the best you that you could be. Women in other countries have been successful at moving into men's fields.
There are other women out there who are smart and have capabilities. Let's start a women's university.
Oh.
Really should be at home cooking and sewing.
Okay, great. Take your seats. So, probably at least half of you have done that before. That's Conscience Allen. You can put anything on this line, and it really, without contention, it allows students to see different viewpoints. Yes.
Question on that. So, like in my class, sometimes we will, do polls, votes, especially when we're doing, persuasive writing and stuff.
Yes.
Would you let kids pick which side of that they want to do, or make them, be assigned?
You could do it either way. It's really interesting to have them do an opposite position, because then they've got to find the arguments from the other side. So you can do that any way that you want to. It's a wonderful thing. Make sure that the person going down the middle goes slow enough, because it's easy to just start going, it's a screaming match, so be careful of that. So 3 years after Emmy was at the university, they changed the rules, and they allowed her to take the test and graduate. However, no woman could teach anything. She could not teach a man. So even though she graduated from the university, she couldn't be hired by the university to teach anywhere. All she could do, she was really in the same boat that she was. But Emmy said, well, I'll just teach for free then. They won't pay me. And so they actually let her teach under one of the men's names, and they didn't pay her. So she taught for free, and she wasn't paid. But she was really happy because she could do the research that she wanted to do. Okay, so let's gather around in a tight little circle around this black piece of paper. So just gather around tight bodies. Okay, so you're good, just in a group. Okay, everybody pretend that you have a bowling ball in your hand and you're going to just drop the ball. What's going to happen to the bowling ball?
Go down.
It's going to fall, and that is the physics law of gravity. Okay, if I take, and let's point yourselves out this way, roll the bowling ball down in the room. Is that bowling ball going to jump up and do 6-foot loop-de-loops? No, of course. Is it going to go backwards? Some people's may.
Depends how you spin it.
But that's the law of what? Yeah, that's the law of motion. So in 1917, Albert Einstein was working on his law of relativity. He was working on conservation and symmetry, which of course is that a bowling ball can't change its essence into a donkey. I mean, if a bowling ball's system is that of a bowling ball, it can transform, but not completely. It can never change into a donkey. But he couldn't prove it mathematically. And a lot of people were really interested in these theories of conservation and symmetry, but they couldn't prove it. And so what it seemed to be, everybody just kind of grouped really tight. It seemed like the energy was going down, disappearing into this black hole. And no one could figure it out. They brought in scientists, mathematicians. They brought in everyone they could think of, and no one could figure it out. And somebody remembered Emily Noether. And then they said, she thinks outside of the box. Let's bring her in. So she studied the situation, and everybody just back up to the furthest parts of the room. Furthest parts of the room. So what she found out and proved mathematically was that energy wasn't disappearing at all. It was just that they hadn't examined a wide enough space. It was still there, that same energy. It was not disappearing. So she gained a lot of, well, not at this time. Albert Einstein gained a lot of notoriety. In fact, he became famous for this theory that Emily Noether had proven. But she did not. Okay, so come back to your seats. So Emily continued with her research and her studies, She loved algebra, and she made, some people have called her the mother of algebra. And by the 1930s, she started to get a little bit of recognition, and she actually got a small salary at the university. But she loved what she was doing. She did not care. She had a small stipend from an inheritance, and that's basically what she lived on. But that was by the 1930s. She started to gain a little notoriety. And when 1933 came, what was happening in Germany? Yeah. And of course, when the Nazis came into power, when Hitler came into power, what happened to Emmy's job? Yeah. So she was fired from the university. And so what did Emmy do? She began teaching for free in her home. And her friends were terrified for her. They were afraid that she was going to be sent off to a camp. And through the help of Albert Einstein and some of her other friends, they got her to America, where they helped her to get a job at Bryn Mawr. And she was doing very well. She was just excited about, finally she was getting money. You know, she was doing what she loved. And just a short while after she was there, she had to have a tumor removed. The tumor was removed, and that was successful. But she fevered up. She got a high fever, and she died at the age of 53 years old. So I'd like one of you. Gosh. Ah! Okay, we're going to draw the outline of somebody's body. So who will be our guinea pig and allow us to draw your body? We won't come close to your body. We'll just draw a shape. Okay. Yeah, let's have you draw. Okay. So draw the outline. Oh, and I love your hair. Let it go. Let it go. This is so perfect. And while Emmy's being drawn, I want you to take, on these papers, there are 3 or 4 of these little yellow sheets. Everybody make sure you have a yellow sheet. And I want you to write on the paper one characteristic of Emmy Noether and why you say that. What's the proof for that? One of her personality, her character, her values, and why. So 2 parts. What the characteristic is, 2, why you say that.
Could you say that again?
Yes. On that piece of paper, the yellow piece of paper, you're going to write 2 sentences, or 2 phrases. Just something, you're not going to turn these in, just something that, it could be a keyword that helps you remember. Just one characteristic of Emily Noether. And then why you say that? What proves that to you, that she had this characteristic? Oh, I love the hair so much. Okay. All right, thank you so much. And I think we'll just, in the interest of time. Okay. Don't you love that? Okay. So one at a time. We'll go for about a minute. And I want you to take your paper, put it down on her form, and say, I think Emmy was because. So let's just popcorn it. Go quick, because we still have a couple things to do.
I think Emmy showed perseverance despite being considered less than because she was a woman. She still pursued math and teaching artistic.
Okay, good. Popcorn, go fast.
I think she was fearless because she persistently stood in the face of the men who doubted her and boldly declared that she was capable and did it.
Perfect.
She's unstoppable. Everything came at her and it didn't stop. brave. She was willing to do what she loved, even when she had so much opposition.
She was persistent. She kept working to teach, even though it was really hard.
Great.
She was passionate because she continued her work despite no pay and no credit and did it happily.
She was resilient because she never gave up despite all odds against her.
She was confident. She knew that she knew what she knew.
Yes, I love that.
She was tenacious because she pushed through in a male-dominated society.
She was determined. She beat the odds and she met the goals. She was a change maker. Even though things were unfair, she kept going and kept trying to make a difference.
She was confident. She did what she wanted to do.
Okay, good. We'll stop there. Awesome. So it's interesting, when I was thinking about Emmy Noether's life, I thought, okay, she used the engineering design model in framing her life. Okay, her task was, or her problem was what?
Get an education.
Keep going.
Keep going. And what ideas did she have for that? Yeah, we don't need to go through all of these, but if you look at her life, she had a problem, she had a challenge, she had some ideas, she made a plan, she gathered information that some things didn't work, so she practiced, she refined, and she became, Albert Einstein said that she was one of the greatest mathematicians of all time, and she is known as the mother of modern algebra. So she was a fantastic woman. We have 1 minute. Okay, so this engineering design model is fascinating in so many ways. What we were going to do was 2 more activities. One, we were going to work as a group, and you were going to create a plan for bullying or anti-bullying in your school using these tasks, this engineering design model. And then we were going to have you do it individually. I was going to have you take something that you want to do. Say, let's just take something like learning to play the piano. So first you'd have to say you wanted to learn to play the piano, what ideas you might have, and then what's your plan, how would you gather information, how would you set it up, how would you create your plan, how would you refine it. And so we were going to have you take that engineering design plan and create a plan of your own. And again, I'm so fascinated by how seed strategies, and this isn't the only one, of course, the engineering design model, but how they relate and cross over into fields that I'm more familiar with theater, art, music, dance. But there are crossovers, and if we can get our kids to see those crossovers both ways, the kids who are scientists to see the arts and that it's applicable to them, and vice versa. So anyway, you guys are doing the greatest thing on the planet. I mean, really, on the planet, doing what you're doing. And just thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And Lisa, if you don't know Lisa Bean, she is a specialist extraordinaire in theater, and she knows all this stuff. She just came because she's my friend. Anyway, have so much fun the rest of the day.